Okay, so it's 7:07.
Okay,
We'll call a meeting to order.
yep.
Is everybody looked over the previous minutes?
Have?
Yeah, I think I
Make a motion that we accept the minutes
All right.
as
All in
read.
favor?
All right.
Bills are going around. We have a visitor,
John
John.
and
Hi, I'm Greta from Northwest Regional Planning, Greta Brunswick, and I'm just here to support the conversation around the water.
okay, if you guys want to come up and take a chair, you're more than welcome to.
I got stuck to it. Yeah. I don't have air conditioning in my car, so sorry about that.
It's all good.
So, hi, I'm John Kiernan, and this is Greta Brunswick. She's with the Northwest Regional Planning Commission. I work for a nonprofit company called RCAP Solutions. The RCAP is the Rural Community Assistance Partnership. And we get grants from EPA and USDA Rural Development to help small communities like yourself with mostly water and wastewater issues, but we also do some community facility projects as well. So I have two things to kind of walk through. Just really one thing to get out of the way is we are currently actively looking at for communities to work with a project on community facilities related to disasters. We have a grant that deals with stuff related to a calendar year 2022 disaster that was a nationally recognized disaster in Vermont. It was right near Christmas. Nobody really remembers that one because everyone's worried about 23 and 24. But because you're in an eligible area, we can provide technical assistance for disaster resiliency or other types of issues like dealing with capital improvement planning for the town buildings and things like that, or some vulnerability assessments. You may already have been receiving assistance from other organizations, but I just wanted to throw it out there that we can do that. So here's a little postcard, and I have my contact information. So
Thank
that's
you.
just there for that. The main reason I'm here tonight is to announce in a public meeting, so that can be a public record, that just the dealings of what's happening with the East Berkshire Fire District. Not sure if everybody knows, but we have been helping the fire district since 2021 when they had finished their construction project, but we're still dealing with a lot of issues with their water source where they had to curtail water and truck it in. So over the last 4 years, we've helped them with getting grants for drilling a new well. We're in the process of doing that, but they've been, have a real lack of what we call technical, managerial, and financial capacity, all volunteers and things like that. So they've been hit hard in the last couple of months with a couple of things that the state kind of gave them, which I can get into, but I don't necessarily need to. But as of July 1st, there's a 5-member board of the Prudential Committee, and there's 3 active members. And as of July 1st, all 3 of those members resigned.
How's it going?
July 1st. That was they had their resignation letters. I was at the meeting, and at least I suggested that they at least hold off to hold a public meeting to at least announce this and get information and answer questions of the members of what's going to happen. They did settle that to be July 29th, which is a Tuesday night at 5:30, their regular kind of meeting time. And they'll plan to have it. I think they'll have it here, and just wanted to just put a note so that it's notified. We'd really like to have as many people as possible to do that. And the reason we're notifying you is that we understand the fire district is an entirely separate municipality from the town, but all of the members of the fire district, there's probably maybe a couple in Enosburg, but most of the fire district members are also town residents. So we just wanted to let you know. We're not sure. They've asked me to help them coordinate, the next steps of what happens. The most likely scenario is one of the creditors that the fire district has, either the Vermont Bond Bank or USDA Rural Development, will file a legal action against the district for defaulting on a loan payment. And it'll go to some type of court proceeding. I'm not sure which court it will be in. But at the end of the day, a judge will basically assign what's called a receiver, which is someone or an entity, either it's a private law firm or some other entity that, you know, helps out to do all the administrative functions of the district. That's notified in statute. The intent of that is to have somebody just disperse all of the assets and things like that for something that would be dissolved. In this case, this is a water system that needs to be maintained. So they'll have to assign a receiver who will work through the administrative functions until a time that, you know, they can figure out something else. So just wanted to present that information. I think in the best case scenario, at least three people from the fire district would step up and join the board and be able to do that. I don't believe that's a likely scenario. There's only 60 property. What's that?
63
properties.
Yeah,
or
okay.
something
I thought it
like
was
that.
64, but
Yeah.
within that range, so yes.
So
Yeah.
it's not very much of a pool to come through, and they've kind of been through a couple of rounds. So the likely scenario of that, the likelihood of that happening, I believe, is low. I don't think there's any concerted effort to work through that. I don't believe that the fire.
I know that you had some people on there, and it's hell for them.
Yes, no, again,
It's hell for them,
we understand.
and that's why they're not staying. And I know when we gave them the ARPA funds, I said they will always be broke. There's not houses enough down there to support that water system without paying unreasonable prices for their water in that town.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, I mean, again, I don't want to get into details, but the straw that broke the camel's back was we were in process of working with the state to do a refinance of their USDA loan, which would get their payment from $25,000 a year to $12,000 a year, which would have
yes.
really helped that situation. But in the last throw, we submitted the applications, and the last throws, it was indicated that it wasn't ineligible because they did it with USDA, and it was a whole big to-do. But it was at the last minute, the EPA said, we can't do that refinance. So that was kind of the last straw that kind of kicked them in the stomach, that they were like, yeah, we can't.
So they can't,
keep going.
There's not.
So, you know, they definitely have, you know, there's definitely financial issues there, that, you know, but the issue right now is that the system has to keep operating. They've had some trouble with accounts payable as well, the operator being one, and they have, at least for now, indicated they're still willing to stay on, because if they drop, that would just cause another bit of an issue. So they've stayed on until this kind of process lays itself out. So, you know, perfect world, three people step up. That doesn't seem like a likely scenario. You know, one of the other, again, options could be if the town was able to provide some type of administrative support, even if it was for a fee, that could help the situation. And I just expect in the next couple of weeks that you will probably be asked in some capacity or not.
But what are
as
they
we
looking
walk
for from the town? Like, you know what I mean? You say in some sort of administrative, but none of us sitting here know exactly what you're looking
No,
for.
I have talked to one of them, and there's actually two of them that are trying to maintain everything. But apparently they no longer have a checkbook. Something happened there. And
Right, but that's within them. So in other words, we have to have a meeting with the people. So we need to call a meeting with the actual board of
and I don't think,
the water department and just kind of look at a lot of that.
and I think the ones that
But-
are on there now, are they fairly new?
They've been there for a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they've kind of picked up what was handed to them. which
Yeah.
was a mess.
Correct.
And they both have full-time jobs, so they don't have the time that they need to put into trying to do billing, getting those bills out, because I know the town, they haven't had any bills until recently, and then all of a sudden they get hit with a big bill that doesn't even add up to what it's supposed to be a month.
I think that's very fair to, yeah, just to say that, you know, it is a lot to expect of
And I
volunteers.
think they would like somebody that could come in and actually do the book part. The adding, the subtracting, the billing,
Right.
the receivables, whatever has to go out, because I think whoever was doing it didn't really have a handle on it. And supposedly something was paid that wasn't supposed to be paid, and it overdrafted something, and there's a whole story, but I don't know what the whole story is. But then there's also, they put in a whole new system down there, and then within a year, they had to fix a spot that was screwed up, cost them $35,000 out of their pocket for something that the state told them whatever they used to do it with was the wrong stuff. It was the wrong quality or the wrong whatever. And that's part of the reason why they cost them $35,000 out of their funds to pay for that. Well, if the state is the ones that told them what to use, and they used that, and it fails, isn't that on the state to fix that problem?
In other words, was there any sort of warranty on the work that was done? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that or if the state told them to use the wrong thing, doesn't it come back on the state? Well, our bad, we should fix this now?
That was completed in 2019,
Yep.
the construction project. Typically, the contractor has a 1-year construction warranty. And if, in terms of the state provides a permit based on what's provided. The district has an engineer design the system and identified what pieces and parts to walk through. I haven't done an audit or worked through situational. I believe that the equipment that was used and the materials, may not be the top tier situation, but it wasn't something that was not typical of doing water system installation. The construction methodology, the way it was put in, may have caused some breaks or other things like that. I mean, at this point, if the district wanted to go back and try to work through that, it would just cost a whole lot of money because it would be a burden, it would be on them to prove
Because
that
it's
somebody
6
else
years out, yeah.
was negligent. So, I mean, happy to have that conversation if you need to. I don't think that this may be the best kind of scenario. I guess the question is what I'm gonna be tasked with is going forward with the funding agencies and the regulatory agencies to kind of put together an action plan of what's the best scenario kind of situation. And at some point, there's gonna be would the town take over some type of administrative function related to billing or things like that to deal with and to help? And I just wanted to let you know, and just that at some point, there might be a request for something like that. In the town of Franklin, the Franklin Fire District basically dissolved. The town of Franklin became the owner of the system. The select board basically appointed a water commission, so it wasn't the select board's responsibility. It was still a water commission, but they were able to share the administrative functions with the town. That worked out great. They were in a much better financial situation than the East Berkshire Fire District. So I don't think there's not an issue eventually you have to take over the town. That's not what the request is at this point. There's probably going to be, is that something that could happen down the line? Could be a conversation, and that, would be open, for discussions at this point. But we understand that at this point, the way the situation is, it wouldn't be good sense for you guys to just say, yeah, we'll take it today and we'll deal with it. But I just wanted to let you know and say that at some point there may be discussions about if those would happen in the future, because at some point relatively quickly, we hope somebody has to be assigned the management role, and they'll probably be paid, which means then the water rates will probably go up to pay for that increased cost.
Greta, do you have anything to add?
I think that in the interim, there's going to be the challenge of figuring out how to solve the current financial issues. But just to reiterate what John said, I think that there could be a role for the town of Berkshire in as a long-term solution. And so I think thinking about what that might mean for the town, for the board, and whether that is something you're open to consider is now would be sort of a preemptive conversation around that, so that at the point that you would be asked or it would be presented to you, it wouldn't be a fresh new concept, and you'll have had time to sort of think about it. Yes.
And I guess I can just add, in the immediate term, the town did offer and provided grant money from ARPA with the intent of it paying for replacement of water service connections. The district went ahead, we put together kind of a contract to help, and they asked all folks if that didn't have a water service replaced, if they would give an easement, then that would work out. I believe I don't know the exact number, I'm still in the process of getting information from the district members, the board. They're not, they didn't take their ball and go home. They said that they would be happy to answer questions and give up information as we can. It's just going to take some time to work through that. So I don't know exactly how much actual cost they have spent of that money, but I was here 2 weeks ago with the intent of kind of presenting this potential of they have hit a financial kind of snag, and that is it possible, whether that could be reallocated to work through some of those operational issues. You know, checking with the ARPA rules, there is no real requirement, but I did advise the district they really should be transparent and let you know that.
Yeah, that's what I got for, which, you know, we'll discuss with the board later, but they did tell me that, yes, if we allocated the money to the water department, you know what I mean? The only thing they would have to do for transparency reasons for the town of Berkshire to let us know what they spent it on, but they really can do what they want with it. Yeah, that's same thing that you found,
Yeah, so I mean, with that amount of money could do a good bit of catching up to their financial situation,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that going forward it's gonna.
It's gonna help anything.
One of the big issues, and I don't wanna belabor it, but the issue with another straw that happened was the operator who was responsible for doing the billing just elected to not do the billing anymore. And so it fell on one of the volunteers, board
Yes.
members, to do it. And she was having a very hard time with their vendor of getting trained and working through that. So I believe that the billing out to customers was delayed. And I think there's been also a situation where there have been a couple of properties that haven't paid, you know, consistently, and there hasn't been we're gonna shut off your water and work through that.
Right, and it's hard when you don't have the actual numbers of what they're behind because you haven't
Correct.
had the billing.
I mean, and when I came on in 2021, the accounts receivable that they needed to collect in delinquencies were in like the $35,000 range, and that is out of about an $80,000 to $100,000 budget. One of the previous board members was actually pretty active and worked with it and got that number down to below 20 and was on his way. And then he unfortunately left the district, and now this new board just didn't have the capability to continue that process. So now that's kind of creeping up again. And so that the next person is going to have to deal with that as well.
Along with the financial difficulties that I'm hearing that the district is having, as I understand too, is the water system there is really not sustainable. because they actually have drawn in a lot of water every year due to the amount that the water supply system can provide.
So,
Yeah, they
and
buy
I do
water every-
understand that. So I just have a quick question though, because this year we have not heard of that happening.
Well,
No, not yet.
not
So
yet.
I'm just asking, did they fix a lot of the leaks that they had so that this is a little better under control than it was before? Do
Yes,
you have that
absolutely.
answer?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
So they received that money with the expectation of replacing all the water service connections, because there was no smoking gun of, a big leak. They just thought everybody was just losing a little bit. They did find a person that had a basement water drain that was draining in, pumping it out by sump pump, and they had thought it was like a spring or something, but it was actually a connection to the water system. So that was a huge leak, and then there was also a leak at the gas station that they did fix. And between those two, the amount of water the demand has greatly decreased. Doesn't say that there won't be, the source is based on springs. And so if there's and my grass is pretty dry, I haven't had to mow it in a week and a half. So if this continues and then it goes into August and there's no rain, there's a possibility that there might be another shortage. We have helped the district. They've got a $500,000 grant from the EPA to help find another well source. And we also got a $600,000 congressional designated spending allocation to help with any construction related to that. So right now, there is $1.1 million of grant available to help fix that water supply issue, which hopefully will continue to be available.
I understand that when they did the exploratory in that area where the springs are all collected into one general area of storage, it was a significant amount of money that was spent there. And some of the areas came up basically dry. And one of the discussions was, well, is there an opportunity to pipe from Richford? And Richford has an abundance of water that they really don't know what to do with. And that was discussed when they began improving the system. And I think it was a marginal cost in addition to what they had already budgeted to try to improve this system. But it wasn't looked at or evaluated in enough detail to really come up with a solid answer.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the loan that they have right now to deal with what they've done is still going to be payable to USDA for the next 35 years. So I think everybody's can be Monday morning quarterback. I don't know the details of both of those systems, but I also think Enosburg Village might have some water lines that are in relative distance that could be connected as well.
I believe that they could have hitched to Richford for $1 million.
It was $1 million more.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's less than what they paid on the hill, and they still don't have any money. And,
Yeah,
they don't have,
and
and the water's it's a boil water, right? You're not even supposed to drink it, or is it?
No,
No,
right
no,
now you're
right now
fine.
you can drink.
With the treatment. With the treatment.
Right. Yeah, it's only if they have to truck water in.
Yeah.
When it's a drought.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, these are all great questions, and I think at some point, when everything gets settled, maybe there could be some long-term planning for the district to kind of see what the next 40 to 100 years will look like. But at least for now, we're just trying to settle the next 6 months.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So, I mean, other than that, we appreciate it was very good to hear. We did have a conversation last week with funding agencies, and when I went through kind of a more detailed discussion of what has all happened, everybody was encouraged that you had provided the ARPA money that identified that there is, some good faith there for, helping each other. Yeah. There are some fire districts and towns throughout the state that are pretty odd.
Well, they are part of the town of Berkshire.
Yes.
residents.
But as long as there's an individual board between the town and that system, it puts a strain on this board here on trying to help with any direction.
Yeah.
And maybe that will change in the future.
Yeah, and again, I'm not trying to put ideas in your head, but I did help the Coventry Fire District a couple of years ago. They had a similar, this is a story that writes itself, because they do a big project. The board that goes through the project is like, we're done. We've spent 4 years volunteering, working more than we need to, we're done.
Well, half of the board that started this unfortunately passed away.
Passed away,
Yeah.
they did.
So that's kind of,
And
Yeah,
that's not uncommon with districts during,
yeah,
at this
so,
time.
and that's where it became, because
Turnover.
all the people that had all the knowledge are no
I
longer
think there were 2 or 3 of them.
anywhere
And I
near.
think
So
Unfortunate.
you have people that want to do it, but once they get there, they're just overwhelmed and say.
Right.
And I think,
"Hell."
and it's because of the capacity issue that they, and that's why I think that if there was some help, we can provide some help, but we're not able to just plant ourselves in a system and work there so we can try to help and identify resources and things like that. But yes, I do think if they had somebody that was able to do the bookkeeping and working through the financial pieces in a role that's probably getting paid for and invested in it, that it would be
More beneficial.
less of a burden for them. But the leadership role of the system is, you still get the stress level for dealing with it. But just back to the Coventry example, 2 of the board members left. They left with 1 board member for 2 years, and he really wasn't able to call a meeting or do all this stuff. He did what he could to make sure that the bills were paid and dealt with that. At that point, the 2 of the select board members in Coventry were appointed to that prudential committee. They didn't live in the district, because that is one of the requirements that you have to be. But they did find something in statute that they had 2 of the members get appointed to this fire district, so that they could work through the budget, work through that, develop a public meeting, and then at one of the public meetings, I think 2 people did sign up for it. So that, I'm not saying that it's an option, but it's just not something expected, but appreciate, when we go through the situational items and alternatives, we'll probably work through those as possibilities.
In terms of next steps, John, so the fire district's planning to host a public meeting here on July 29th.
Right.
Right, and it would be great, I think, if there were some select board members in attendance, at least one.
I can't see the calendar
That's
from
a
here.
Tuesday night.
Okay, it's Tuesday, okay. Not that it makes a difference, but, well, as long as it's not a Monday or a Friday.
And that meeting is for what again?
I think it would be just an announcement of the what's happening with the district, that, we're hoping in the next
Do
couple
you
of
know
weeks.
what time their meetings are?
It's 5:30.
Okay. All right.
The expectation is that at some point we'll get us an indication whether one of the funding agencies will actually take an action. If nobody does anything until the 29th, the expectation is those prudential committee members are like, we gave you a month and we're done. So the question becomes is hopefully the Green Mountain Power Bill gets paid in August, and the operators would get paid. And so there's somebody that has to take the reins to work through this. And what we're trying to do is, between now and the 29th, kind of figure out the alternatives, come through, and if nobody kind of steps up, then we'll have to work through the court process to get it assigned.
Right. And then just second, as we have those conversations and continue on, how does the Berkshire Select Board want communication to come to the board around this when it's not a public meeting? Is there a point person, or would you like to just have me go through you or us go through you? Be the
That's usually the way
Yeah.
it works.
Okay.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Just wanted to ask that question.
But a good outline provided to Emily would give us the ability to, when we do meet.
Yeah, because
we
I can
have-
send everything.
We
off
have
that
the
needs to be
information
sent out. Yeah.
that can be provided to us,
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have another meeting on the 28th.
Yes.
You meet
Yes.
twice a month.
Yeah.
Every other.
So we have our meeting the
It's
day
every other
before
Monday.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
So sometimes more than twice.
Yeah,
so we're hoping that at least at some point, before the 28th, we'll have our ducks in a row for the 29th meeting, so we can share whatever we can.
Yeah.
Do you have a time frame? Like, do you do your agendas on Friday afternoon?
I usually make sure that I try to send them out the Monday before, but if there's any changes come Thursday, because we're not open on Fridays.
Okay,
So
Thursday.
anything that comes through by Thursday, that's when I'm done,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright.
But we always have the visitor and others, so there's always an area for anybody to come in and be under either one of those too.
Sounds great. Okay.
We appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks
Thank
for the
you.
time, and we'll be in touch with something.
So right now, there's 2 outstanding grants that are available to them.
Yeah, we've identified a property to drill on, and we're in the conversations with the landowners. And right now, we could be doing a test well, soon, but that's gonna be on hold.
they drilled 3 holes on our land, they didn't find nothing.
Well, that was the dry holes that I was told about.
Well, apparently you've just got the dry spot.
So, yeah, we got them,
Kind of
for
seems
sure.
like they have those grants to continue looking for, an additional viable source, but it seems like they need to get their house in order really before starting to work on them, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
But
they need to have somebody being able to administer that.
so these grants, how long are they good for?
There's one grant, I believe, that's sunsetting at the end of September, but it could be extended. We'd have to put together kind of a request for extension and a reasoning.
Is that the planning?
No, it's a wind, it's the
That's the
water.
one for construction or implementation?
No, it's a grant through the EPA. It's called the Water Infrastructure Investment for the Nation Act. And it actually was a grant to the state. And the state identified East Berkshire that they could use the 500,000. So it was really, they're not, the state, the district is not a grantee, they're a sub-grantee. The state's providing the information, but that's still available. We've been working with the person at the state that's dealing with that. He understands the delay, these types of situations with getting, we had a 1-year conversation with one of the properties that had a 60 gallon a minute well, but it just kind of fell to the wayside, as sometimes these always do. So they understand that the delay is that case.
Now, was that he didn't want to allow it, or was that, or was there just didn't get back?
We have not heard.
Didn't get back from you.
Yes.
I know where that property is. That's the old fire station. Eddie Goodbo, Goodbo's, yeah.
Yeah, he's a farmer in northern
Yeah,
New York.
New
He was
York.
very friendly all the way up until the time when we sent a sample option to purchase, and then to be honest, part of me is like, somebody should check on whether, I don't know what has happened. He has just stopped communication at all. It wasn't consistent, so we're unsure about what happened. If anybody knows him, can reach out.
I know
That'd be
him.
great.
I went to high school with him.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't talked to him, and I haven't talked to him since he went to New York. His brother works for Honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So he's already on the water,
he is not.
he's not on it?
He has a well that's got 60 gallons a minute.
Yeah,
And it's relatively close. And so we've actually talked with a landowner that's a couple of houses down from them that's even closer to the water storage tank. And the state has for what it's worth, the state has provided a lot of resources to help the district. They have a arm of the state that's called the Vermont Geology Survey, and they have 2 hydrogeologists that do apparently magic. They go through, do all of these things. They have these cameras that find out and they went out for months to kind of do and identified fractures, and they walked along and they kind of identified this area. So this is the second best location that we can talk about. And it's even closer to the well. So there's no guarantees. It could be something that there's element of water quality that it needs to be treated, so we don't really know what the issue, which is why we got the CDS grant as well.
Right.
So,
Right. And that one was for how much, 600?
600,000. Great. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank you
evening.
very much.
Yeah. Any
Both of you.
concerns about this or questions or results from the zoning hearing? Just
Nope, it's all been
All-
approved.
it's
Everything's
all been-
good. Nobody actually had anything to say, so we're gonna send that off tomorrow.
right,
Thank
cool.
you.
All set.
Thank you.
I know Emily's been working on that. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
Thank
Nope.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Actually, fire department and shooting range got wicked well.
Changes
Yeah.
to the agenda.
You guys are all good?
What?
No, it's a
Does
new
anybody
thing,
want-
just to make sure that nothing comes up that we need to change. So I added it that we could,
Cause it was so like.
sometimes if you have things down here and somebody wants to discuss them up here, you can make changes to the agenda. If you're good with the order I set out, then just sit back and relax. All right, let's
If
go.
I get real lost, yeah.
New garage updates. You're the man.
Generators are up and running, finally. They found a problem there, the regulator wasn't any good. Still having problems with the water. It's still getting air in it, and it's still dirty. I don't know, they're supposed to take.
They're testing
they're
it, we're
testing
working
it.
on that, we're
Yeah.
working on the results. I think a lot of that is sediment still.
But the air,
We don't have air over here, that's what makes me like, I
Well,
don't know.
Yeah,
I thought a little bit about it. So as the system, the way the water comes in, obviously air is gonna rise as soon as it can, right? And I think that's why the garage is getting it, and over here we're not.
Yeah,
Because off the expansion tank, it goes back down, but it goes up. As
yeah, I mean, it has to go up.
it has to go up to feed the garage. And that's where the air is, it's the elimination of it, providing it any further. So it's going to the garage first. Now,
So does it quit after it's run a minute, or does it continuously?
Oh, the air quits after a while.
has anyone checked the expansion tank?
Jake was up the other day. He went through it and, who else? It was somebody from, the old Feely.
oh, he's been over here just testing the water.
Yeah, Bill talked with him and said sometimes there's pressure reducing valves that go bad. But Jake said we don't have any pressure reducing valves.
Right.
So
Does the tank maintain air pressure?
as far as I know, it does, yes.
So that eliminates any of the air within the building.
So they were talking something about, because there's two separate lines. So the line comes in and separates, one line comes over here, one line stays in for us.
And that's the one that goes up,
Must be the one that goes up is for us.
correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
cause we have no problem over
We have no
here.
problem over here.
yeah. Yeah,
So-
I know, and it's,
Yeah, and that makes sense for the garage to see what we're talking about
yeah.
because of that line going up.
Yeah, air's gonna
Air is
follow.
gonna try to escape going up, not go horizontal.
Yeah.
So
No,
the only locations that there is air is the expansion tank. Cause I've just recently heard that someone had to replace a brand new expansion tank because the bladder had failed.
So you don't know how long they're in there.
Well, it's a brand new tank, right?
But I mean, as far as, it could be a brand new tank, but I mean, you know what I mean?
It's the bladder that holds the air pressure in the
Right.
tank. So is there a minute little leak under a certain amount of pressure on that bladder? Possible.
But can they shut the one off over to here and check it, or, do you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, how do
You
you,
should be able to shut the water off.
That would be a way of, well, that would also relate going back to that pressure tank, if it is losing a minute bit of air under a certain pressure, if they ought to set a pressure test on that tank. They could monitor it and it would tell us maybe over a weekend. Just let it set the pressure, reset the pressure, mark it on the gauge and see if it stays there over 24 or 48 hours. If it's not on the inside, it's gotta be on the outside.
Could be a loose
You'd think if it was on the
Loose
outside or
fitting.
even on the inside, if it was getting air in, like through a hole in a pipe.
Yeah, so
It'd
the
have to
only
leak.
thing you guys are having air problems with is the pressure washer though.
No, that,
that's-
they fixed that the other day.
That was just, that was,
That was the bibs,
yeah,
were
too small.
too small. So he's got a different bibs and now it's running good. No, we get air in everything. The toilet, the sinks, all the sinks.
Is the water dirty over here?
Slightly, nothing major.
So it's both places still dirty, so.
Yeah,
I know, but that's sediment. It's more
No,
sediment.
but that's not like they got
It's
dirty
not
water,
like
you
it's,
don't.
you know what I mean? It doesn't come in anything different. It's, yeah.
No, but like they got dirty water, so do you. It's not, I mean, they're not.
So sooner or later, we probably should put a little filter in,
We're waiting for the test results to come
Okay.
back for that, yes.
but not a filter treatment.
No.
Just a 100 micron
Yes,
filter.
yeah,
yes.
it's just,
Yeah.
he was talking, that field
There's
was
no
talking.
test required.
No, we've already,
Cheap.
Yeah, well, if we don't, all of the little aeration
Yeah.
particles, the aerator.
Dwayne Feely
on
had
your
already,
faucet,
yes, told us
they
that
all
he
get clogged
has
up
this
on
simple
us.
one that, yes, we can do
Unfortunately.
something simple with that, so yes.
They can just put in an inline filter.
Right, right, right.
What else? The generator's up and running. We're still moving stuff in.
Yeah, everything over there.
Just about done. It's pretty well cleaned out,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Do
a
down
little bit
there.
left.
You're gonna be
These
And-
weren't done, but I.
doing that
We're still
that
waiting
way.
on Fidium.
Yeah, well, that's
That's another thing.
that's
I haven't
another
signed that
thing.
big
They
one.
said it was all
There you
gonna be
go.
done in one day and. be
We knew
lucky
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It just, you knew it wasn't.
Yeah, we kinda knew it, but.
Yeah. But that's all right. You know, we'll get there.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Besides that, everything else is working and we gotta move the fuel tank over, but we kinda wait to get out of the old garage so that we can move it over. Cause we gotta but we still can do it if we get the right time, but I've been kinda pushing to work on the roads. We're getting way behind on everything and I've been doing most of the work on the outside, on the roads, and Bill and Sean have been cleaning that garage out and moving it over there, so, I mean, we're still getting a little slow. But it's getting there, it's happening. The paving's been done. We put shoulders on everything. Installed driveway culvert yesterday, or today.
Did you end up getting that Pearly Road dug up for the blacktop?
No, we didn't do that because,
Did you miss the meeting?
We
Oh,
didn't
cause,
have one.
no, we were
we
gonna
asked him-
blacktop enough over that area. They were gonna put extra blacktop over that one because they were coming quicker than we were gonna.
and the thing
Get
is,
it
like,
done.
if we had to dig it out, we'd have just made another bump.
Right.
The only way we could have done it without another bump is start right from the state road and go right to the end of the
Okay,
line.
wait a minute. We just switched from garage to Danny, okay?
And you were paying attention.
Well, I'm just like, you didn't say anything.
Danny
I
did the
was starting to
transition.
write
I was
up
just
here.
writing.
It's fine, I just need to know where I'm writing my notes because I'm gonna start
Whichever.
typing,
He
okay?
went from the generator to the road.
Like,
Danny was talking.
Pay attention.
okay, no, it's
He was
all
just
good.
filling you in from the height,
Nope.
from the new garage.
Keep going, we're all on the same page now.
Whoopsie.
So what
Yeah.
else is going on in the, highway world?
Well, there's two things, but I won't say where the camera's on.
That's okay.
I did drive over all the roads, They did come out nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Marvin Road, I thought, where they joined the two at the intersection near 105 was a little,
Yeah.
yeah,
you saw
I
it
guess
too?
I haven't been over it.
so you noticed it too, Todd?
When you come off the 105 onto that. there's
Yeah, yeah. Just the
there is.
things that we
And
were
then
talking about, they're trying to avoid.
Did you put dirt at the end of their blacktop? Because I ain't been up the last couple days,
no,
but there
I-
was a hump there.
Not yet,
Because there was a,
and I drove it tonight.
Yeah, no, I
Not
haven't,
yet.
no, we haven't done that. I don't know why we put shoulders
Yeah, but
on.
we don't do that on that, cause.
No,
isn't
but
there-
it-
No,
when they-
where the blacktop meets the dirt road.
where the blacktop meets the dirt road, it left a.
Oh, I thought you meant 105 to,
No, they got their,
no.
105,
Okay, I was like,
no,
what?
105 has got their, when they put their ramp
Yeah.
that come out a ways.
Yeah.
Well, when they put our blacktop on, they should have gone another, what, 3 feet maybe? Cause you come off their ramp, and then it hits our.
You turn right going on to Marvin
And it
Road.
makes there's a
There's a
cahoot
little-
I
there.
said, I haven't been down there.
Cahoot. There you go, Emily. A cahoot.
I was surprised they did walk everything over on Water Tower Road and do that patch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
they did do the patch. I
that
did
is
see that.
nice.
I didn't think they would do it. I talked to the foreman down there and I said we had
They said they
discussed
were
it.
going to.
Yeah, and then.
He did.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I didn't think the paving foreman didn't know anything about it. So when I talked to him, I said, well, either call Dave up or, I said that was it. So we went and looked at it and he said, oh yeah, he said, it's quite a cahoot there, so they did it.
They did, and they did a nice job.
They
I
did a
thought they
nice
did
job,
nice.
but now they got one down by Honus's instead.
Yeah. And thank you for addressing Mr. Watson,
That is.
or helping with it,
That's not done yet, I don't.
helping with it. Well,
I
went up
said
and-
he'd probably be in.
I went up and met with him. He called me,
did
sent me
you?
the
Okay.
he sent me a picture. He said, by the way, here, I think
Did, but you see, he still doesn't
Do you guys
understand.
know this
he,
conversation?
he's okay with it now.
Okay.
Because you guys did the best we could.
I mean, they did a beautiful job matching that.
They did.
They paid, no, they did do some of his driveway for him.
Well, they just, all we did was just go up to we just made a little extension on the apron.
Yeah.
And that's all we really could do.
Yeah,
The problem is his driveway comes down at an angle and then our road comes in like this.
But then the next driveway down is also got a little pavement apron. So
Yeah,
you're kind
so-
of limited.
yeah.
He was afraid the water was gonna melt in his driveway, come down there to that little
And
section,
settle.
cause he put a level across it. There's about that much room between the level and the ground. He said his wife was gonna come down through there, hit that in the wintertime and slide right off the road. But technically, water coming out of his driveway cannot go in our road. It has to go off to the side. So it's done correctly.
Yeah, no, so
So,
it's all good.
So that's when I called Danny. I said, just go up, take a look at it. Just go up, take a look at it and just see what you can do.
Oh, yeah, so
So-
it has a,
So
it
you
has a
did-
channel
you did
to
it.
run, yeah.
You
I
did a
mean,
nice job.
we talked about it, we got a little heated, and then we both cooled down, and
You did a nice job. It come out good.
I thought.
I drove up it, I turned around, I came back down it. You don't feel anything way back in it.
No.
And afterwards, he said, Mark, it's not a big thing. You did the best we could.
Yeah,
And,
so, I mean,
and it's okay.
When I left him, he was somewhat happy, but I didn't think we were gonna hear the end of it, but must be.
Probably have them.
Got a paved Nobles Hill, couple complaints there, but, I mean, when they complain about getting out of the driveway and the paver's still in front of their house, there's not much I can do.
Right.
You know, we did it as quick as, actually quicker than I dared to, but I was afraid you get on it when blacktop's still hot,
Right.
but it came out. And I guess that's about it for now.
So I do have Desiree Murphy's driveway permit here that you've already approved, but you haven't signed. The select board needs to approve it and sign it.
Make a motion. Don't even have Tony here to second them.
Second,
All in favor?
I'm wasting my motions this week. I don't even have Tony here to second.
nobody,
Okay, so top one for you. So this next one is this is the one for Pothiers that you already approved, and you have signed it.
Okay.
I just need the select board to approve it, it's the one that you've
No,
already
yeah.
done.
I came in the other day and Lori gave me.
I know, you signed the wrong one, but I fixed it.
Okay.
Whiteout does
Well, then
wonders.
I kind of figured, I said,
You want Danny to sign this too?
Yeah, cause he just didn't do it the other day,
Right
it's
underneath
fine.
my name.
But actually, it's already done, so can you sign both places, Danny? If you see, okay, right underneath Jason's name.
road foreman and approved.
Yeah, and then up, yeah, both road foreman ones, can you see them? Okay, right by your finger, yes.
Want this back there? I didn't even see if your name was on there.
And
I let you have it.
So this is the one for, Samantha Pothier that Danny had, yep, that's right.
this one here too?
Yep. That Danny's already put in as well. And this one just needs select board approval as well.
God.
Can I have a pen back, please? And it's already been put in, this one he's already done.
Now, did Mark come in? Cynthia?
No, not yet.
No? Okay.
So we just need select board approval on this one as well.
Anybody want?
What's it for?
Samantha Pothier.
Yeah,
You told them at the last meeting that they could go ahead, but we didn't have actual
Right.
motion approved when you did the under the road thing, so I'm just trying to,
I'll make a motion.
thank you.
second.
All in
Okay.
favor?
Way up.
Okay, and the last one is the discussion of, like, Danny had said that, so this gets sticky. They put in, they put in a subdivision permit to subdivide their property, okay? This permit here is
For
for
the
the
original.
second property, and they're putting a trailer just off the road, like 100 feet off the road. This driveway worked. So Danny can sign the bottom of it. The DRB is telling them that they had to have a second driveway permit because in case their right-of-way ever got taken away from them, because they go through Mike Paradis's bottle redemption area. The problem is where their land goes up to their house is a bank that goes like this.
Yeah.
It's just not
It's not.
possible.
They don't have a right of way?
They
He's
have
got
a
a
right of
right-of-way,
way, a right of way through Mike
Mike Paradis's,
Paradis's
uh,
driveway that's
lot
never come
redemption.
I mean,
away.
that's not, it's not,
It can't be taken away, can
It
it?
cannot.
It cannot be taken, even
It's your-
Mike says that.
It's just
just in case.
the DRB wanted them to have it to comply with bylaws, whether or not they ever used it. So it's, to me, it's a permit where,
Yeah, and
Hey, is this,
the only place they got picked out is.
Are these two
you don't
neighbors
wanna
supposed
come
to be
down that
together?
driveway.
Right.
what do you,
well, they both got the same amount on them,
yes, there, yes, in,
but there's this one here with a separate number,
yes, right here.
4633, but these, is this twice or something?
What do you, yes, they're the same thing.
Cause you got 325, so you only want one of them or you want them both?
There's 325 and 4633, yes.
You got 325 twice there, that's, I just wondered,
No.
cause they were,
No, it's just.
Oh, yeah.
this was in here and it confused me.
Yeah, no, because this is what we print out, and when we send it to the state electronically, we have to print these out, so absolutely, let me put it to you this way. Usually she doesn't do all three, so that was, yes.
Okay.
She's just making sure you're on your toes,
I
Todd.
am.
So, okay, so we're all good with this, oh, awesome. All right,
Clerk update. We're on
So-
number, Emily, we're on number 7.
yep. So clerk updates are errors and omissions to the grand list, which, obviously, there was quite a few, but, you know. They all got ironed out in the middle of everything. We kind of, you know what I mean? Went through the grand list, page by page for the most part, to make sure we didn't have any more. So with all the errors and omissions, and I redid the tax rate between what our grand list already was and with all the changes, It ironed itself out so that our tax rate is still pretty much gonna be the same. So a lot of this is the personal property that was really messed up this year. And this is the personal property that I said next year I want to vote to get rid of because it's more of a pain than we actually get money out of. We get, in our whole tax base, we get $5,000 a year out of all the taxes that we raise. And that is
Where's
school
that
and
come
town. And it's not worth the headache. Some of these are like $2 and we're sending a 75-cent letter out to them 3 to 4 times a year. Not feasible. And personal property means we are taxing business owners on their property or their equipment they need to actually do their business, that they pay taxes on to get that, and then we charge them every single year another tax on top of it. I just don't find it right. That is my thing. But it has to be voted on by the voters. So anyway, huh?
Have to put it in the thing.
Yeah, we have to vote on it. It has to go to the voters, but. So all in all, and the only other thing that was wrong was, Chris and Kelly Benoit have a rental house over there on Skunk Hollow. And when they bought it and things got turned into their property because it was contiguous, somehow the property got turned into it, but the house never did. So now part of the errors and omissions was adding that house that they haven't been taxed on in 10 to 12 years back into the grand list. So it kind of evened out all the other things that went wrong.
That was a nice little,
Just so you
nice
know.
little windfall for them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't get nothing like that happened to me down there on the ranch.
That's what I was thinking. So all in all, we do need an emotion to accept the errors and omissions, which did not change the tax rate.
I'll make a motion that we accept the errors and omissions.
I'll second it.
Okay,
All in
so,
favor?
and you all have to sign it on this side, please, over there. So the next thing I have is the tax rate, which went up 3 cents. I don't think that's all that bad considering we got the garage on it. We said it would be like a 2% increase on just the garage. We've got 3 cents on everything and. So our tax rate will be 0.7017, which is a 3 cent increase. I won't tell you what the school went up because you don't want to know that
I
today.
never want to know that. They complain about the towns and it's the schools that kick them.
Theirs went up 9 cents. Yeah.
What's the purpose of the finance charge from Ace Hardware?
Because I didn't send it in enough time for them. I was waiting for Tony to be here because I was gonna say, I can't believe with everything that we buy there, we are being charged $14. But he didn't,
What's the $14 for?
because I didn't get
finance
it into, so they, do you see when they sent that though?
Well, it says
6:30.
6:30,
Yeah.
That was June's bill.
right?
Yeah,
They didn't receive it by the 30th of June, so they gave us a finance charge.
yeah.
So
It's a nice little
don't
bonus.
worry, when I see them, I'll make sure, cause
I know
we
it
spend
probably
enough
goes in
money, they
Tony's
should be
pocket.
charging us.
Tony?
Yeah,
Probably goes in
yeah.
Tony's pocket.
We'll start doing business elsewhere.
That's funny. He mentioned he wanted to buy coffee last week.
Yeah.
There you go. So, yeah, so we just need a motion on the tax rate.
I make a motion, we accept.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
We don't have much choice.
Is there a second?
Mark and
Andy,
Oh, we
Alright.
don't,
We don't have much choice, do we?
hell no. No, well, not really, not really, but I think, I'm happy with it, like, I always get nervous that it's gonna be ridiculous.
I know. Wait till it finally is.
other?
The garage is not gonna be paid for before we get our new appraisals done, so at some point, it's gonna go.
Something's gonna go.
It's gonna go at some point. We're not gonna look pretty. I may have to resign.
yeah.
Oh, so I think we're good unless you guys are ready to go into executive session and we
longest
need a
tenured-
motion for that.
My longest tenure.
Motion to close the meeting and.
No, just go to executive and
Just
close
go
it
to
when we come out.
executive.
To an end.
I'll make the motion, we go in the executive meeting.
I'll second.
Okay. There,